I just saw a severed head in a museum. I'm convinced it's my dead mother. My mom was always in and out of my life. She would often leave the house for days at a time and come back like nothing happened. So when she told me one day that she would come pick me up after school ended and take me to the park, I was super happy. But as school ended, she was nowhere to be found. I waited for 3 hours assuming she was just coming late, but after 5 hours, one of the janitors decided to call the cops and let them know what was going on. The police wasted no time and found her car parked behind an abandoned gas station 2 towns over. Her purse was still in the passenger seat, but the keys were gone. Everyone said she probably ran away or ended herself, but I never believed that. My mom wasn't perfect, but she wasn't the kind of person to vanish without a word. The weirdest part was the gas station security footage. It showed her walking into the woods behind the building while staring up at something. The police never found the body, and after 6 months, they declared her dead. It's been 2 years since that happened, and my dad and I stopped talking about it. That was until yesterday, because at the start of school, my principal announced that all the students were going on a field trip to the State Museum. When we arrived at the museum, my class went to an exhibit called Punishments of the Path. It had execution masks, iron shackles, ancient blades, and at the very end, a glass case labeled Unidentified Female, 1870s. Inside of it was a severed human head, and for some reason, it looked exactly like my mom. It had the same freckle under the chin, the same chipped tooth from when she fell off her bike as a kid, and even the scar above her right brow from her car accident. It was 100% her. I thought I was losing my mind. So I leaned in closer, trying to convince myself it was a coincidence, and then it blinked. I fell back and knocked over a velvet rope stand. One of the employees helped me up, asked if I was okay. I needed to know what this thing was, so I went up to my tour guide and asked where they got the head. It was donated anonymously 20 years ago. We unfortunately have no record of who sent it, and it's so fragmented that we can't even take the DNA of it. I didn't know what to say, so I just ignored it and continued on with the tour. When I got home that night, my dad was sitting on the porch looking like a ghost. He told me that he just had a dream about my mom in the woods behind our house, wearing a red dress while holding her head in her hands. All she did was just smile and mouth something he couldn't understand. He looked like he was half scared to death, so I thought I would just wait a couple days to tell him what happened. But that night at exactly 3:07 a.m., I heard some random tapping at my window. I looked through the blinds to see what was going on. All I found were some wet footprints on the glass and a drawing of a smile. I didn't sleep. I tried my best to ignore it and decided to go hang out with my friends in the morning. But when I stepped out of the house, there was a box on our front porch. No name, no return address. Inside was a photo of me standing in front of the museum exhibit. The head in the case was smiling wider than it had been before, and on the back of the photo, it said, "You found me." I ran upstairs into my mom's closet and started digging through her old things. Behind a stack of boxes was something I'd never seen before. It was a velvet drawstring pouch. Inside of it was my mom's necklace, the same exact one they'd found in her car, and a slip of paper. Room for one more. I wasted no time and immediately went back to the museum, but the exhibit was gone. The room was locked completely empty, and when I turned to leave, the same tour guide approached me and said someone had left a message for me. He handed me a manila envelope. Inside was a single photo. It was a new display, a glass box with a head inside. Only this time, it was mine, with my eyes wide open and my mouth smiling.